Hello guys. So probably around 4-6 months ago my Sienna AC system started to glitch. By saying glitch I meant that when I started the car I couldn't feel the AC working right away. I drove for a minute or two and then I felt like sudden AC cold air was blowing, everything was good. And then it progressed to the situation when sometimes AC wasn't turning at all, but the other times it was working fine. So I decided it doesn't look like an issue with a low level of refrigerant in the system, because if it would be the case, then AC would not work properly, all the time. But it was just kind of switching on and off, and so finally I procrastinated, I don't know, 6 months or so, and I guess by now it's time to finally diagnose the system and see what's happening with it. So let me bust out my scanner and we'll check out if there's anything wrong in the system, what kind of codes are there, and we'll proceed from there. Let's go into air conditioning. Let's first of all see what is our fault code. B1479 flow sensor circuit. Based on the code, I just went ahead and purchased this guy. It's Dorman 926-818 part flow sensor. Interestingly enough, Toyota doesn't have this part as a standalone product. It comes with AC compressor only, so that's why I went and purchased a Dorman product, because there is no any other option, I would say, except the used sensor from the used let's say from the junkyard. And so let's try to go ahead and swap the sensor. Okay, pop up the hood. To give you an idea, I took this long screwdriver and I will point it to the sensor. So we're right here in the front of the car, and hopefully you can see there is like sensor right there. I mean, it's not so hard to reach. It would be much easier if I would remove the cooling fans, but before I commit to do that, I'll try to remove this sensor just like it is. I'm gonna unclip the connector that goes to the alternator, and it should give me a little more space. It's not as easy as it looks, despite it's right here in front of the eyes. Okay, connector unclipped. I'll put it to the side and I'll try to make my way right there with those knipex. Yes, that was nice. Oh, hot. I'll try to use my both hands. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see anything or not. It's not very convenient, despite it right here in front of the eyes. Okay, it was a miracle, but I was able to squeeze the pliers and remove the ring, and you can see even the how it goes. Oh my god, I can barely squeeze the pliers into this tiny hole. I'm not sure if it's been rusted or it's on purpose, like one hole is bigger than the other. Maybe it's some kind of orientation of that thing, but regardless, we're halfway there. Interesting how difficult gonna be to remove the sensor itself. You know what? I'm gonna probably put some WD-40 and let it sit for a few minutes. Maybe it's gonna help me to remove the sensor. And I want to be careful to avoid dropping the penetrating oil to, for example, to the serpentine belt. Probably gonna try to remove the connector first, so I don't damage the wiring connector, and then I'll try to wiggle the sensor with the pliers probably. Okay, I'm gonna use this little hook and try not to break the connector. Maybe it's actually some use for this long screwdriver. Yep. Okay, connector removed and looks like without damage. So now I'm gonna need some long pliers and try to kind of wiggle the sensor. I was going back and forth with the connector and finally broke the the connector the connector part of the sensor. So I am screwed no matter what. After a lot of cursing and very, very, very bad words and frustration and removed fan or fans for the radiator, I finally removed the last piece of the old sensor. I used like the hammer and whatnot, and chisel and screwdrivers and a pick, because I mean most of the time I was doing it while the fan was installed, so there was that much space to work on. So eventually I removed this like overflow tank and this coolant pipe. Luckily there were not much coolant in the upper section, so I lost just a little bit. Let me try to get you there just to see how it looks like without a sensor. So this is where the sensor will be. Let me show you how this replacement sensor looks like. So this is the sensor, the new one, and that's what left from the old sensor. And I think the new one should go there without much troubles. It's just pretty much just jumped in place. Now I will find my pliers and I'll try to install this very rusted circlip, and the pliers were found. I put a circlip onto the pliers and I'll try to install this circlip right. And everything is not working right. Like the battery is going low on the flashlight, and I can't even see what I'm doing at all. Sorry guys, I think you get the idea. You squeeze the circlip, install it, and release the pliers, but I need both hands there. I just installed the circlip and obviously the sensor. I'll connect the sensor and the alternator to the wiring, and I will install back the fan. There goes the sensor, there goes the alternator, and let's do the fans. Okay, let's try to install the fan without doing much damage to the radiator. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect the hose again. Hopefully there is no too much coolant. Okay, nope. I'll tuck the hose somewhere here. Okay, there is one hose that will clip onto the radiator. There are 3 brackets or 3, things. The taps from the fans should, like those 1, 2 and 3, so those taps should go through those designated spots. Let's call them like that. I mean, in overall, the removal of the fan was remarkably simple. Okay, I just need to know if all 3 tabs are inserted. And no, the side ones are inserted. The center one didn't fit into the designated spot. What about now? Okay, now all 3 tabs are secured. The fan is straight, and 2 bolts holding the fan. It's 10 millimeter. Let me bring the wrench. Okay, not a wrench, ratchet. Okay, it goes into the designated spot. Okay, good. What was next? The next was the overflow tank. Okay, I got the overflow tank right here. Let me feed the tube or the hose from the overflow tank. Goes into the rubber kind of bushing bracket at one side, and 10 millimeter bolt the other side. Good. So this hose is being held by a couple clips. 1, 2. Did I forget? No, I did not. 1, 2, and it just goes here without any snap rings. And now I will put the hot hose, the clip. And I'll try to put it into the exact same spot using the witness marks from the moment I removed it. Hold on. Exactly like it was. And I will install the air box. Okay, found the air box. I already forgot how it was installed. I think... hold on. I am kind of ahead of myself. I'll connect the fence first, and there were few clips for the wiring for the cooling fan. And okay, now we have the air box in place and two 10mm bolts again. And that's it. I'll find the funnel to, or maybe we're gonna leave on the edge, and let me fill it without the funnel. This is whatever I was able to capture. Okay, no spillings. Still I will need to add some more because I lost some coolant, but it's in correct position. All right, just like that. And let's check out our work. We need to route or those, okay, those guys. First of all, we need to route them right here, and there is one more clip for them right here. Fastened, fan is fastened. That's it. Just needs a little more coolant. Okay, it's interesting to see if I'm gonna feel some cool air. Okay, it's already kind of chilly outside, but hopefully I'll be able to feel the breeze from the AC. Hopefully. Auto mode, let's do max cold. Maybe not so much air. I should be able to compare it with the ambient. Yeah, it's cold. I mean, yeah. Obviously, I was kind of suffering without, you know, this normal sensor for winter, and some of you may think that AC is not required during the winter, but when it was raining outside, my windows been foggy and I couldn't see anything, and when it's kind of big humidity, even the heater on a full blast on the window doesn't help as good as the working AC. So that's obviously the fix. When I was reading online about this problem, most of the people who did it before, they complained more about this circlip, like metal circlip. It was super hard to remove. For me, it was the sensor itself that probably took me more than an hour of punching, chiseling, or whatnot. So luckily it's over. And by the way, I was strongly considering pulling the AC compressor out just to get better access to this sensor, and but luckily in the end everything worked out okay. So instead of like 15-minute job, it took like, I don't know, hour and a half in total but yeah, it's cold air from the vents. No more fogging, and as always, thank you for watching. Hopefully this video was useful for you, and feel free to add any comments if you have something to add. Take care. Also, I will put the link for those pliers. It's Knipex or Knipex 4431J12 for those little circlips, and it's 45-degree angle, which is exactly what's needed for this particular o-ring. So the straight pliers wouldn't be as as convenient, as well as 90 degrees pliers also won't be as convenient. 45 degrees is exactly what needed for this job. So use the link in the description below to get those pliers for this job. It's very convenient and saves a lot of time. It's not expensive.